It's 2026, it's Cows Week, and it's a special one because it's the 200th anniversary of this world famous regatta. 200 years doesn't make it the oldest regatta in the world, not by actually quite some margin, but it is the most famous regatta of its type in the world. And every time I come here, I get reminded why. The range of boats from Flying 15s right the way up to some of the biggest boats around, Grand Prix boats, race boats, cruising boats, wooden boats, classic boats. It's more of a festival of sailing in many ways than just a straightforward regatta. But this year is special not just because it's its 200th, but as far as I'm concerned, and I think as far as many other people feel, it's great to see Cows Week on, how would you say, a bit of a recovery. Because it is no secret that over the last couple of years, 2 or 3 years, the event has been in decline. It's had its challenges like so many other events have. COVID didn't do it much good, didn't even happen in that year. And it's difficult. There are all kinds of reasons why Cows has struggled over the last few years. But this year, it's come bouncing back. They've got 630 entries, maybe more, this year, and that makes it look a whole lot better. And it seems like every class has sort of expanded, and the racing has been absolutely superb. So, we came over here, of course we did. I've been at pretty much every single one since I was a kid. It's not something I would ever want to miss. And we've been asking people what Cows Week means to them.
Cows is the crankiest place to sail, with wind from various directions, tides all over the place, difficult courses.
Participate in the world's best sport, sailing with your family, with my kids, with my friends. It's just, it's a dream come true for me.
I've been coming here for over 30 years, and every event, you come away with special memories, both on and off the water. So really, really proud of Cows Week and what it means to our British sailing history.
We learned a lot, and in the end, we are a youth team from a sailing club, so learning is what we're here to do. So I think we're achieving our goals, let's say.
Cows Week, or the Royal Yacht Club Regatta as it was originally known, began in 1826 with the race for the £100 Gold Cup. 7 cutter-rig yachts took part, and it was won by the 83-ton cutter Arrow, whose owner also took £30 in prize money. Since then, not only has the list of entries increased to a peak of 1,035 in 2005, but the list of trophies throughout that have been awarded over the course of 200 years must be among the longest in any sport. But from sailors to celebrities and royalty, it's the list of competitors that's the most impressive and have delivered some of the best stories.
Prince Philip, when he was finishing his race off the green, avoiding the rocks, and one of the fellow competitors inside him shouted "water," and Prince Philip ignored him, and the competitor shouted out, "You don't own this water," and Prince Philip replied, "Maybe not, but my wife does."
The regatta has also played host to other events too, which have frequently helped to boost the event. The Admiral's Cup and the Fastnet did much to raise the international status of Cows Week for decades. And as the famous squadron cannons fired this year, it became clear that the Admiral's Cup was again playing a part in the week. Last year, the return of the Admiral's Cup after a 22-year absence had been a huge success. So much so that the event will be repeated next year. And for several teams, that meant practicing now. Within IRC 0, there were 4 TP52s and a Boateen 56 that were fully tricked up and locking horns daily. For most of them, 7 days in the Solent was an opportunity not to be missed in their long-term preparations for the Admiral's Cup next year. At the other end of the performance scale, the XODs, a huge fleet and a great reminder as to how painful it can be if you don't get clear air at the start and you misjudge your line into the windward mark. Once again, this fleet was the biggest class at Cowes and one of the oldest. So what's the big appeal?
I think it's the history of the boats. I mean, my boat was built in 1972, and it's won the Captain's Cup 5 times. I can't make it go. Other people can. I mean, some of the boats that are leading, they're 70 and 80 years old. Fantastic. Where else do you get that in what other class? I can't think of one. It comes down to the sailors. It's very difficult to get an edge, and X-boats they're tricky things. I once went to a meeting where we had all the top helmsmen, and they said, we'd like you to tell us what makes an X-boat go fast. So I had my notebook ready. And Basher Baines, who we're celebrating tonight, he came out with his way, which was tight rig, no kicker, lots of backstay. So I wrote that down. And then the second guy came up, John Tremlett, he said, well, I sail it very loose. He said, lots of backstay. And so it went on. At the end of the day, I tore up all my notes, and I came out no wiser in knowing how an X-boat goes. Everyone has a different opinion, and that's the beauty of the class. There's no one answer to it.
It's funny, when you go around and ask people here about what's special about the XOD, they all seem to say, well, it's so hard to sail, which makes you think, so why not make life a bit easier for yourself? What's the appeal there?
It's really easy to sail. It's really hard to sail well. And there's so much going on, there's so many variables. But at the same time, there's so many lovely people to come and sail against. I've made some lifelong friends. I've been sailing these boats since I was about 8 years old, and that was a long time ago.
But old doesn't always mean slow, especially when it comes to boat handling. How about this for a kite hoist? Little surprise perhaps that they won the day. Even the pros had trouble matching this. Okay, I know a TP52 kite is around 7 times bigger, but they got 5 times more crew, winches, pedestal grinders and high gears. But forget the pros and the big fleets of small boats for a minute. Cowes Week is a great reminder as to how racing can be a family affair.
Well, I've been doing it for 40 years. These girls have been doing it since they were babies. And the dog was a puppy on the first race of Cowes. He was 5 weeks old. Yeah. So yeah, we've been doing it as a family every year forever. My dad's here on another boat as well. He's 89. And so is my sister, and my 2 nephews are all here. So it's a real contested thing.
There's a lot of family going on here in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Basically, if you're born on it, you can't get off it. That's the saying.
For some, the family connection has been quite different, but no less important.
Well, my grandfather emigrated from England, from Canterbury, 1888, where his father set up a pharmacy business in Cowes, which was already famous for its yachting regatta. And my grandfather thought, I can't paint, I can't draw, but I want to capture the sight from my bedroom window, which is the beautiful yachts, steam yachts, ocean liners going past, and I can use this new invention called photography. So borrowed one of the cameras from the shop, took a few pictures and thought, this is great, this is wonderful, I can really touch base with this. But he soon realised that cameras were not suited to marine photography. So he devised and developed his own invention, which was a handheld camera fired by biting a rubber ball between his teeth. And he said, I can use my body as a gimbal. Rather like a snake will keep its eyes on you when the body's moving. He could move about and absorb all the shock and movement of his own boat and the yacht he was photographing. And since that invention, all his horizons were level and in focus and sharp and were really sought after.
But for all the plastic fantastics and cruiser racers that take part, Cowes Week's real USP is the extraordinary range of classes that take part.
We last sailed at Cows Week in 1965, and our class has been around since 1942. It's one of the biggest classes, international one design classes in the world. But we sort of broke away from Cows Week, went to Folk Boat Week. But we had a great conversation with Phil Warwick, the race director, and we have a new series. We're a growing fleet in the Solent, so we do a summer series. Cows Week 200 was such a big opportunity for us to come back as a fleet. And as you can see, we've got a great fleet of 20 folk boats here. We've had some fantastic one design racing, joined in with some of our classic folk boats. We celebrated our return to the Royal Yacht Squadron with a champagne reception, and it's going so well with the support of Phil and the Cows Week organisers. This great class wants to come back every year.
And there are some boats that have a history all of their own, like the Dragon Bluebottle.
She was a wedding gift to Princess Elizabeth as was and Prince Philip, and they sailed her together, but mainly she was raced by Prince Philip and Duffer Fox and other sailing masters that they had, naval officers along the way that took her helm. And she had a rich racing history back in the day, culminating in her success at the Melbourne Olympics 1956, where she won bronze medal. So she had form back then, she was quick. Then fast forward to, she then spent a time at Royal Britannia Naval College in Dartmouth, where she was used by the cadets, but not raced. Eventually she ended up in a museum in Falmouth, the National Maritime Museum, Falmouth in Cornwall. And there she lay for decades until she was restored. In 2018 she was reunited with her fleet, Royal Yacht Britannia, Bloodhound and Cowslip. She was brought back into the fold and restoration complete in 2021, and we first raced her in 21 in Cows Week at this regatta, and it was a full 60 years since she'd previously raced.
Encouraging young sailors into the event and the sport, especially those that come from a background where sailing is simply not known, is a goal for the event. And here, there's a clear leader.
So being raised in London is a bit tough, and it's good to spend a weekend out of the city just with friends and sailing. So it's a good opportunity for us to kind of reflect with ourselves. And also, we learn a lot of social skills, skills that we can use in other industries as well. So it helps us communicate with other people. And with that, we can get more links and then find jobs in the future. So it could be like a life-changing opportunity for us to get careers and stuff like that.
A good week on the Flying 15. It's a boat we sell basically just every Cows Week. We have good fun with it. Like, we use all the skills we learned through the year and just put it into the Flying 15. So Cornet and his Ilka in the British Youth Squad, great for him. And me, like with all the other boats of sailing and the coaching, it's been pretty fun and we're having a blast. Every day is a learning day and we're just climbing up the leaderboard every day.
Me currently, I'm in the British Youth Sailing Squad. So I've currently reached the highest level of the youth programme, and I'm aspiring to get into the senior men's team.
With a major birthday to celebrate, this year's event came with high hopes of a return to the glory days of cows. But let's be honest, no matter how good the event has been in the past, the world has changed around it. People's lives have changed, costs have gone up, and time has become more precious for many. All of which makes it difficult, if not impossible, to commit to 7 days of racing in the middle of the school holidays. But this year's event demonstrated that there's no lack of support for this kind of festival, in which the new buzz was unmistakable. But let's hope that this is seen as a catalyst and not the final template on how to make one of the world's most famous regattas popular again. And for me, one of the great things that has never changed is that there are always loads of stories to share. And this year there were mountains of them, which is why this is just a taster of what went on. As we put this out, we're already working on some of our favourite stories from the week that will run in due course, so keep an eye out for those. In the meantime, I know I'm biased and it's on my doorstep and it's my favourite event, but this year felt like cows had come back. Let's hope so.